Welcome to Technically You, the podcast that breaks down complex tech topics into simple, digestible conversations. Today, we're diving into something that plays a crucial role in IT infrastructure, LDAP and Active Directory.
That's right. If you've ever wondered how your work computer knows who you are the moment you log in, or how IT administrators manage thousands of users without pulling their hair out, well, you can thank LDAP and Active Directory.
Before we get ahead of ourselves, let's start with the basics. LDAP stands for Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. It's the open standard protocol that helps systems communicate with a directory service. And one of the most popular directory services that uses LDAP, you guessed it, Microsoft Active Directory, AD.
Exactly. But LDAP isn't exclusive to Active Directory. It's also used in OpenLDAP, Red Hat Directory Server, and other directory services. Think of LDAP as the messenger that lets applications ask, hey, does this user exist? What permissions do they have? To transfer down.
So LDAP is basically a way to query and authenticate users across a network. But how does it actually work?
All right, picture a giant phone book for your company. But instead of phone numbers, it holds user credentials, passwords, device permissions, and even email addresses. LDAP helps applications look up this information in real time without storing it locally.
That's a great analogy. When you log into your work email, for example, your login request gets sent to an LDAP server to check if your credentials match what's in the directory. If they do, boom, you're in.
And LDAP doesn't just work for login authentication. It also helps with authorization, like defining which folders, drives, or applications a user can access.
And IT admins love LDAP because they don't have to manage thousands of individual user accounts manually across different applications. So basically,
Yeah, it makes managing user identities scalable and way less of a headache.
now let's shift gears and talk about Active Directory, ADD. This is Microsoft's implementation of a directory service built on LDAP.
Right, if LDAP is the messenger, Active Directory is the library where all the user data, computers, groups, and security settings are stored.
Active Directory is critical for Windows-based networks because it centralizes user authentication, allowing IT admins to enforce security policies across an entire organization.
For example, if a company wants to lock down USB access, force password changes, or control who can install software, they can apply those settings across all company computers using Active Directory group policies.
That's powerful. And AD isn't just for user authentication. It also manages computers, printers, and security settings for the entire network.
So let's talk about the different types of Active Directory configurations.
Sure, the main components of Active Directory are Active Directory, domain services, ADDS, this is the core of AD, managing authentication and authorization across a network. Active Directory, Lightweight Directory Services, ADLDS, a lighter version of ADDS that provides directory services for applications that don't need full AD infrastructure. Active Directory Federation Services, ADFS, helps with single sign-on, SSO, so users can log into multiple systems using one set of credentials. Active Directory Certificate Services, ADC, used for issuing digital certificates for secure encryption and authentication. Azure Active Directory, Azure AD, Microsoft's cloud-based version of Active Directory, great for managing users in Office 365 and cloud applications.
So why do companies use LDAP and Active Directory? Well, here are some of the key benefits. Centralized authentication. No need to create separate login credentials for every system. LDAP authenticates users across all applications. Enhanced security with features like multi-factor authentication, MFA, group policies, and role-based access control, RBAC. AD keeps IT environments secure. Equipment, scalability. Whether your company has 50 users or 500, zero users, AD and LDAP scale effortlessly. Single sign-on, SSO. Users can log in once and access multiple apps without re-entering passwords every time. Seamless integration works with email servers, VPNs, databases, cloud services, and even mobile devices. Time and cost savings automates IT processes and reduces the need for manual account management.
Now, as amazing as LDAP and Active Directory are, they're not without their challenges.
Starting with complex configuration. Setting up LDAP queries and Active Directory policies can be tricky if you don't know what you're doing. There are security vulnerabilities. If it is not properly configured, LDAP can be susceptible to brute force attacks or unauthorized access, cloud vs on-premise-based services. Many companies are moving to cloud-based identity solutions like Azure AD, so maintaining on-premise Active Directory can require extra management. And
At the end of the day, LDAP and Active Directory are the backbone of enterprise IT. They keep networks secure, make user management easier, and enable companies to scale without breaking their IT infrastructure.
right, whether you're a small business or a huge corporation, having a directory service in place is crucial for cybersecurity, compliance, and day-to-day operations.
And let's be real, without Active Directory, IT admins would lose their minds trying to manage thousands of users manually.
So if you're in IT or looking to get into it, understanding LDAP and AD is a must.
That's it for today's episode. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe to Technically You and share this with your IT friends.
Until next time, stay secure, stay curious, and keep your passwords strong.
And don't forget, listeners, no more password 123 as your login. See you next time.